Daikage. So yeah, Kage threw a massive monster in the last second to, of course, save little Bojji. And Bojji got hurt for the first time, like really hurt. I mean, not like he's getting punched by someone, right? But like actually, Oken pierced his leg with his sword. But that injury is probably easily for Mom to heal, though. I mean, it's just like a deep cut through his body, but yeah, probably you can heal it easily. But of course, Kage goes crazy, goes bananas. And yeah, I mean, you know, I have no idea what this means, really, honestly. It's like, here's Kage's real form, true form thing, the Shadow People's form. I mean, his family got killed, right? His whole race got genocided, Eren, typical Eren. So, we don't really know what they could do, right? His mom, as I mentioned in the reaction, his mom didn't do this, though. So I don't know if they all can do it. Maybe they just need enough emotional pressure. But still, though, his mom's about to die, right? And she didn't do it, so maybe there's a modern trigger. Maybe need to XP enough. I don't know. But it seems weird that it all could do this thing. So it's probably something only a few of them could do. Obviously, I'm just theory crafting here. But yeah, you know, like... but this could still explain why they all killed them, right? They were good shadow people, betrayed by the human and killed them, right? But maybe this is the real reason, right? Because they had this, like, Titan shadow form they could transform into at certain points, and that was, like, dangerous, so they killed them all. Something like that, yeah. But it ends on that, right? So I guess, you know, subscribe. Yeah, see you guys next week. Let's see more, but see you guys next week for the actions happening. Because I don't know, right? Yeah, this happens in the last second, but that's my guess, right? It's some kind of hidden form that only a few of them could, but it's probably part of the backstory why they killed them all, right? To die with his brother, or not even to die with him, just to die to stop him, right? God damn, is he a good person, man? He's like, I'm gonna capture him, hold him down, right? And then our big brother, Hitler's boss. Now I probably die from the lightning, but my brother is gonna like just paralyzed for a moment, right? I mean, Oki wouldn't even die anyway, so Despa would just like make Desha paralyzed them both, right? And then he would probably die from that. With Oki, it's like heal it in like 10 minutes, right? So a very desperate strategy, but it was a cool scene. Just, the whole team was really good, right? I mean, as we know, like Despa is a smart, tactician person, right? So he was like, okay, he's gonna get me with that attack. He's gonna trust like that. So he managed to predict him, right? Yeah, he managed to predict him, but that doesn't help him to win one-on-one, right? Because he's like fragile and weak and physically weak, right? So he's like, I can predict him, but I can't actually defeat him alone. So this is the best I can do, right? And the captain got like stuck in his heart, though. So maybe the captain dies if he's a fortnite. I like the captain, you know. He's like a nice guy, you know, helping Bojji, helping the villagers. Yeah, they wanted to conquer the villagers, and he helped them anyway. So he's like a nice, you know, good-hearted person, right? Could be maybe a lower rank king or something one day. I don't know exactly, but yeah, the captain, nice guy too. Stop hating on mobs, right? No, well, Miranjo, of course, is killing Bojji's mob because they slept with bosses. It's pretty obvious. But yeah, her mom's a witch, healer, and all that good stuff, right? Really kind of, that's obvious. And she could take an advantage of, right? But this evil, what's called like Gyokyan kingdom, right? And Gyokya-san, something like that. All right. And yeah, her kingdom, the Homa kingdom, allied with them for honestly no reason. That I would say was actually, I would say, honestly, I would say this thing here, right? This is my favorite anime this year. But this episode actually, to be honest here, I have to be, you know, fair, right, in my reviews. This, I have to say, is probably the biggest issue to write so far. Because it just didn't make any sense. Like, it just didn't make any goddamn sense. You know, that she still wants to help them, whatever, that's one thing. She's like, her personal, she's too nice, her mom was just too nice, right? So that makes sense. But I mean, why would the kingdom of Homa she was serving, right? Why did they keep being allied with these people? They were like, they betrayed them, they took from them, they stole from them, they didn't help them out in the war. I mean, they're fighting the gods, right? And, you know, these douchebag people, they were like leaving them in the battlefield and so on. So that I have to say, that doesn't make any sense. Why did this kingdom betray Horman before Horman left the alliance? You know what I mean? If you were a reasonable person controlling the Homa kingdom, you would have obviously, like, you know, left the alliance for these people many years before the time to betray you, right? They was obviously going to betray them. So I'd say honestly that that kingdom where Miranjo and her mom is from, the Homa kingdom, their leaders, I would argue for, is too stupid to be real. I will argue for it's the worst writing so far in this anime, because yeah, that's like, there's no way they're that dumb, man. Like, why would they keep being their allies? First they build up the kingdom, honestly, why did they even ally with it to begin with? I have to say I feel this storyline is probably the worst in the anime so far. Is it a good storyline? But this part, I have to say, is just kind of stupid. So they get to their village, right? Like their kingdom. And they're like, and the people are like, hey, why are we allying with them? Like, why are we becoming their allies? These people are also kind of freaking, like, you know, Stone Age, and we are like this, like, advanced magic kingdom. Like, what's the point of becoming their allies, right? That doesn't make any sense. So I have to say, it feels kind of shoehorned in that they are, like, very nice wizard kingdom, allies up with, like, some freaking Stone Age people that are all crooks and, you know, yeah, douchebag. All of them are horrible people, right? Say that they scared Miranjo. Like, why did they become their allies to begin with? Like, what could they offer them whatsoever? And why did they keep this alliance after they betrayed them like 10 times, right? So, honestly, I'm gonna be critical, but I mean, the episode is still good, but that part doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense, whatever. Maybe they can be explained later that they got tricked by the gods or something. But anyway, of course, Miranjo's mommy gets stabbed to death. And it felt a little bit weird that they would just stab her to get the money. But then immediately afterward, they joined with the gods and started killing her friends, right? So, here in the flashback, they didn't say more than, oh, they killed her. She was like, give us the money, bitch, right there. We could kill you and or you, whatever. But then it just ended, right? Said, oh, then they betrayed them and split the gods. So you have to still wonder. I mean, the anime is very open to interpretation, right? It feels like it's implied, of course, they did betray her mostly because they wanted to join the gods, right? So by betraying these wizards, they could also join the gods and so on. It couldn't just be the money, right? If it's kind of weird, because the very next scene they're like adding up with the gods in this traitor scene, right? And kills her friends, right? So it's like, yeah, this seems to be kind of like a part of that storyline. What's I gonna say? Well, I did honestly expect the storyline to be worse. We already knew that Miranjo has been tortured, right? And has her hands and legs cut off, and more, and her face was like, she was like frayed, right? You know, her face was like skin or something, right? She was like skin alive or something. So yeah, I don't know. This anime is really weird, right? Some scenes and really some scenes. Like it wouldn't surprise me if it went seriously like a Berserk scene, right? If you ever seen. I don't want to spoil Berserk, but I feel Berserk is so old now. It's like, come on, Jesus Christ, you've seen Berserk, right? So yeah, so Berserk has a lot of brutal scenes. Of course, the Casca scene is the most towards one. But yeah, it does feel like, I mean, I don't think the anime is gonna show them really like torturing Miranjo, right? But this didn't even show anything of that. I'm not saying that, oh, he needs some blood, but I was like, they didn't even show anything of it. They didn't even show, like, you know, the capturing her or whatever, right? So again, right, this anime, I feel this is like half the truth, right? This is like the backstory of her mom, kinda, and then it's like we get another backstory later, right? Explaining how, I guess, Miranjo killed them all or something, and then, you know, they, you know, tortured her or something afterwards, probably. Because she's probably going to go fight the gods, right? So this obviously missing something here. And also, did her mom just die from this thing? She had healing powers. Like, yeah, her mom was like the best switch, right? And had healing powers like healing, so I have to say maybe she could heal herself. If you say it's almost too simple here. But certainly it's going to be more on this backstory explaining, you know, why Miranjo killed them all, right? I mean, if you saw in Daida in the spirit, Daida talked to the, you know, the people, right? And obviously they hate Miranjo, killed them all. But come on, they clearly the people killed her mom, right? So yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that she burned down whatever their city, right? Like this douchebag country, because they betrayed her mom, right? And also generally her people. So that piece is pretty obvious. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, the whole kingdom episode was complete bunch of assholes, right? So of course she went and killed them after they betrayed her family, and, you know, also the general resource, right? But one thing this episode did, though, the general premise is like, what? There was some gods ruling this shit? This anime is also crazy, man, because, yeah, you have all, like, oh, here's Miranjo, her mom, and his Okken, and his Kage's powers, but also, the episode, arguably, I think the biggest thing in the episode, kinda, is that they introduce these gods, and gods are actually on the planet, and they rule the humans, and then the humans fought them, and this is obviously before the king system, so the episode also introduces a completely new concept of, like, of gods. Yeah, they were, like, ruling the planet and all this stuff, and I guess the humans eventually defeated them. But the weird thing with the episode, though, I have to say, and this is such a typical, right, Ousama Ranking thing, right, where I feel in most animes and games or whatever, like if you play a video game, right, it's like God ruling the planet. It's pretty common, right? Yeah, this kind of trope, right? Evil gods ruling the planet, or it's some animes too, especially I think some video games love this shit, right? There was some war between the gods and dragons or whatever, and then the dragons won, humans are free or whatever. Yeah, like you've seen that before, right? In many Dragon Quest or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty common, right? But the thing is so different in this anime, I feel, from I guess other origin stories of the planet or whatever, right? Is that in most of these storylines, 9 out of 10 times, probably more, right? You get the full story, You get like, yes, there were gods, there were dragons, and there were like humans, and they were fighting, and then dragons and humans allied, and then the evil gods died, and now the gods are like just memories, but there may be some gods that are locked away or something, certainly. But like, I mean, you get the general premise, what happened, how did the god lose, how did we get our current planet, right, or whatever. But in this anime is like, yeah, we had this like god war, and they were like humans with magic, and then the giant guy joined humans, and they were fighting him, and then the humans betrayed him. And then he stops there, yeah. This anime is, so kind of frustrating. You're like, oh yeah, you gave me half the origin story. Yeah, you're like, it is the backstory of the God Wars, and then it's like, it stops in the middle of it. Yeah, it's like, goddammit. It's just an Ousama Ranking thing. It's just an Ousama Ranking thing. Yeah, they explain like, yeah, we have the gods and we have the kings and whatever. They don't actually explain the full picture. So now we have no idea still how the humans won, right? We have no understanding how the gods are gone, or if the gods are still there, or why the king system is shit to begin with, right, and so on. And also how magic works or whatever. So goddamn, this is an Ousama Ranking thing. Goddamn it, it's so typical for this anime. He's like, here is the true backstory of the world, but you only get half. And like 10 episodes later, here's the second half. Oh man, this anime is so frustrating. In that sense. I wanna know how they defeated the gods. You can't just give me this like backstory spin-off, and it's like, but how did they win? One thing though, I wish that Boston would explain better to Bepkin in the prison is, of course, as I mentioned in the reaction part, how old is he, right? Is Boston like 1,000 years old or something? Because the other guys were like, what, God War? Yeah, read about it in history class, This is seemingly like 1,000 years ago, so this is seemingly like very, very long ago, right? Like, he didn't even know about it. He's like, I heard about it in, the freaking, the Bible and yeah. So, Boston must be really old, right? He's a giant, of course, so he could be really old. Miranjo is like kind of mirror witch, so she also could be really old, I suppose. But, that being said, though, didn't Bojji's mom die somewhat recently, right? Didn't Bojji's mom die, like, I mean, Bojji's a giant as well, I suppose, but he's still kind of young, right? So my point is that Miranjo in the mirror hasn't been that long. But of course, she explained to Appis that her face and hands and so on were all like fake. So I guess she's like, I mean, her age or whatever, she also might just be like half puppet or whatever. Right? Yeah, I guess she's alive by magic anyway, because she has no hands or legs and so on, right? She's all fake anyway. Let's think about it. Her appearance. Not only is it's taught to him that she's faking it because she got tortured and they lost her body parts, but obviously she could be also much older, right? Like maybe she's actually like also 1,000 years old. It's supposed to be like an old grandma, but she actually has like a youthful appearance because obviously her appearance is fake anyway. So I suppose, or this was pretty recently. This was weird because Boston was like, yeah, I was in the God War, and that was some good old shit, man. When I saved the humans from all the evil gods. And the human is like, God Wars? Wasn't that in the ancient time or something? It felt like it was disconnected. When did this take place? And like, it was a modern country somewhere. So, it couldn't even like, I would say, it couldn't even frame it in like a reasonable time frame or something. He's a little weird though. Bossi is in love with Miranjo, and he's like, oh, I stayed to watch her raise her daughter, but it felt like he was first falling in love with her mom, right? He was like, she saved me anyway, and she was a great mom. Felt like he was first interested in her mother, right? And then he also told the Bepkin that he was like, Miranjo is my teacher and my mother. You're like, what? Can you stop? She's every other mom. He's like, I am like taking over my son's body, and I have this weird thing with his mom / my wife shit going on. That's weird already. And I took my other son's powers. And now I'm like, I was raising the woman I'm in love with, but I was like her stepdad. Because isn't he basically, he was like, I killed her father, and then I lived with her mom or something, kind of, she not lived, but kind of around, so he's like, was he dating her mom, and then her mom died, and he's like, I'm gonna marry daughter instead. What is this? Like, what is this hentai plotline? He was like, I killed her father, became her father, and then her mom died, and I smashed her. Like, what is the backstory, man? It's just very much like, okay, I guess. What? It's like, it's a lot of hentai vibes here, Bosse. Yeah, a lot. Bosse and Miranjo, man, they do a lot of hentai shit. Yeah, and of course it's also Nether Rage all the time, right? So, oh my god. Well, anyway, guys, subscribe, smash the like button, that is for today. Ousama Ranking, another weird episode, a good episode, but also confusing. And it was confusing, but it's like, I wish you could tell me the full God story. Don't just give me half the God story. Give me the full God story. Tomorrow, of course, Black Clover, I will candy, whatever it is. And of course, 1 billion harem, right? And of course, Vanitas, very after last week. Vanitas, I think, is even better this season. So 2 is even better, certainly. I might be late tomorrow. I don't know. It was like after work, maybe something shit. I was like, maybe. So, anyways, maybe later tomorrow. Otherwise, have a good day and I'll see you.